Hello and welcome to ashford.com. You are watching an interesting video on microorganisms, delicate balance between humans and microorganisms. Microbiology is a science which studies microorganisms. These organisms can be a single cell, unicellular, or many cells, multicellular. Microorganisms are so tiny, you can't see them with the naked eye. No matter what their size is, they all need to be viewed with a microscope. These organisms constitute a diverse group of tiny, simple life forms that include bacteria, algae, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. Antony van Leeuwenhoek was a Dutch microscopist who was born in 1632 and became an apprentice in a store looking at cloth through glass magnifiers. He ground glass and learned how to make his own magnifiers. His later work included improving the microscope, a piece of equipment he used to study microorganisms. He made many optical lenses and microscopes, and used them to study microorganisms in water samples. Van Leeuwenhoek is considered to be the father of microbiology. Robert Koch was born in 1843 and taught himself to read at an early age. Koch is considered to be the father of modern microbiology. He earned his MD degree and worked to discover the microorganisms which cause such diseases as tuberculosis, cholera, and anthrax. He also studied tick-borne diseases and malaria. Koch received the Nobel Prize for his work with tuberculosis. Louis Pasteur was a chemist and microbiologist whose work involved vaccinations, fermentation and pasteurization. Pasteur's experiments involved working with microorganisms and how they grow and reproduce. He is considered the father of the germ theory. The Pasteur Institute was the result of Pasteur's work with rabies. It was set up to treat people who developed the disease after having been bitten. Through many contributions, Pasteur was able to get his institute up and running. While microorganisms can play a role in disease, they are also important in many positive ways. Uses of microorganisms include aiding in digestion, winemaking, brewing, baking and pickling, sewage treatment and biotechnology and genetics. Escherichia coli, commonly called E. coli, is one such bacteria which is normally found in the lower intestines. Most strains are harmless and even help by producing vitamin K and by staving off other pathogens. It can also be used in the production of insulin. E. coli, however, can result in food poisoning and urinary tract infections, mainly due to contamination. Pictured below is E. coli. Staphylococcus aureus is a microorganism that is detrimental to our health, but its presence doesn't necessarily mean illness. Staph is normally found on our skin and in our respiratory tracts. It can cause sinus infections and more recently a disease known as MRSA. MRSA is the result of the overuse of antibiotics, and the bacteria has become more virulent in cases of lowered immunity. The disease is still treatable but not with the typical antibiotics used to treat a staph infection. Penicillin is made from a fungus called Penicillium. It is used to make antibiotics that kill harmful bacteria, and bread comes from a fungus called yeast. Bifidus regularis is a bacteria found in yogurt which aids in digestion, think probiotics. Lactobacillus is a bacterium which lives in our intestines and aids in digestion. Streptococcus, on the other hand, can be very pathogenic. A bacteria which is normally found in the mouth, respiratory tract and on the skin, is also the cause of strep throat, pink eye, and pneumonia. So as you can see from a few examples, there is a delicate balance between humans and microorganisms, one which hopefully will stay more positive than negative. Thank you for watching this interesting video, hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, and subscribe this channel today.